You're supposed to stop at a certain point. Action, boom, get him. The guy stops 30 feet before he's supposed to stop. I'm already shifting gears. The bike front tire goes right under the front fender. I go through our shield, land on the car like this. The bike decides to go, oh, boom, on my back. I broke this puppy. This is normal, this is not. Okay. Punctured both lungs, fractured 12 ribs, cracked my jaw, got a lump right here on the sternum. But I didn't mess up my hair. We kept that in place. Okay? So they helicoptered me from the alley. I was on the ground, bleeding internally. Luckily, Larry was a vet. He is a vet. He'd been in the mountain. He saw the signs. And he grabbed my hand and he squeezed my hand and he gave me focus until the helicopter got there. Okay? And they took me to UCLA and they got me on the slab and they cutting everything off me. Naked. And I realized, I'm bleeding and hurting and but I'm more aware of, hey, my kidneys out there. I was embarrassed. It's stupid. Of all the things, I'm bleeding internally, got punctured lungs, fractured ribs, cracked jaw, all of it. And all I'm thinking about, man, I'm bleeding your neck and those people looking at me. So, nobody gives them authority. I wanted to put me up and see if I ruptured my aorta. And I said, you're not going to do that. And I kept, mother, father, get away from me, you know? Not that. Oh, you know what that means. So what happens? The smart dude doctor comes up with me, and I'm laying on the spot. And he puts his hand on my forehead. Hey, dude, you want to die? You want to die? People ain't gonna cut me. He says, hey man, just be cool. We're not gonna open you up. We're not gonna give us authority to open you up. We're gonna die every day in an army and x-ray flip you like eggs. Of course, everything was good because I was real butch that day. Muscle. You know? My best friend is the urinal and my pillbox at this age. Okay?
Now, one thing I think that's pretty neat is the fact that I never knew until I started researching and I knew that when bringing him to the show that he has something in common with me. I'm retired law enforcement and he's still in it. So we talk about your law enforcement career.
So that's what happened. That's the most dangerous thing was my fault. But I ended up in, first of all, I gotta get into this. I ended up in intensive care for 7 days. 50-50 chance every day on the news. It was put the show on the map. Didn't find out. I had an out-of-body experience in the hospital. Okay? And that's why I got out of intensive care. I'm laying there in a tent, tubes all over the place, and oxygen and all that. And my mother's at the foot of the bed and she's crying. And Andre was there, and then Bill Tom and a buddy of mine, and my dad, who was in a wheelchair. He ended up in a wheelchair because he paid his bills. So I'm watching my mother crying. My mother's a queen. She's gone now, but she's a queen of old blood. She was the reason why I didn't come to New York. I was going to be here at top, and she's in high school. I ended up bit by the acting bug. And an actor, then I ended up as a cop on TV. We'll get to that. So I get out of bed. Woke up and I'm like, Mommy, get the door. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Andre, why is she crying? Mom, why are you crying, Mom? Mom. And I realized She don't see me. She's looking. I go, well, what are you looking at? And I see myself in the bed. I'm in the bed. I see myself in the tent. I said, Mother, Father, I'm going to get out of here. That's what I said. That was my out-of-body experience. Isn't that a trip? If my mother wasn't there, maybe I'd be walking those halls or anything. You don't know. So there is life after death. You know? If I was alive, I got in bed, then I got back in. Isn't that trippy? Anyway, so yes, I am a deputy sheriff. First, I was a police officer once ago. I wanted to be a cop since I was 4. Okay? I gotta take it back. My dad ended up in wheelchairs. He never paid his drug bill. She divorced him and fired him when I was 4 because he was stuck on the needle. She wasn't having it. My mom was very strong. She started dating a cop. New York City CSI police officer named Pete Thomas. Greek American. This guy, this guy. This guy was like, oh. The only other man I ever loved was my grandfather and this guy. And I was going to be a cop. I was going to be a New York City cop. Before 17. 17, there was a really cute girl in high school. Her name was Christine LaPorte. Still is. I wanted to meet her, so I figured, let me wait for her after school. I'll get a train or bus, maybe she was on the block. In the third Brandeis High School. She didn't come out of the building. I said, well, it was after 8 period. She should have. So I said, I'm going to follow her along. She was going to drama club. So I said, I grew up in Harlem, I can act. You know, she's attitude and somebody else's words.
I have a 5 kids, so I got it in that.
So I figured, hey, if I want to get there, just audition, get in. Come on, you grew up in the streets of New York, you can act. Go get her. So I auditioned, I got in, and I got bit by the acting club. I ended up digging it and craving it. It made me feel good. It made me get out of my stuff. Scenes and stuff. Acting exercise. Everyone should have at least acting 101 because it opens you up. Grows. And I like the feeling. I said, I want more. Maybe I can make money with this. But I had to tell my mom, you gotta live in the projects a little longer, I can't get you out. I want to be an actor. I know me, And she cried for weeks until I made a deal with her. I said, look, Mom, I can't make any money in this acting thing. I can come back to Albany, New York at 30 and still be eligible time-wise, age-wise, to go to the academy in Albany, Police Academy, New York guy. I was 32 is the color, I think. I said, look, Mom, I want you to live like I want you to look like my queen. I want you to live like my name, Springs. You know? I need to know. I said, Mom, I got to do it, Mom. I tell her, she's crying for like 3 weeks. So I made that deal with her. Thank God I got chips at 27. I'd still be making the deal with her. But my first movie was, I was 19 years old. A movie called Crossing the Switchblade. That movie. And Mickey Cruz. Mickey's still alive. He's still moving in the water. Yeah, he's still out. And he was the baddest, meanest dude in the worst street gang in New York City in the 50s and early 60s. Called the Mau Mau's. Pastor in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, was reading in his barn about the New York gangs and all this. And he said, no. I said, no. He said, Reverend David Lewis. We went to New York. He started a teen challenge. Not only that, he went after the toughest teens dude in New York. And that was the guy that I played. Pat Boone played the Reverend. Pastor. I played Nicky Cruz. And that story, how we got that part, main theme was beautiful. So, and the second movie was The Centurions with George C. Scott. He just turned down the Oscar for that. He said, no, I don't want the Oscar. His next movie was The Centurion. And then a Hawaii Five-O, which was great. From Harlem to Hawaii. So something happened on the set one day that really blew my mind, and I said, oh, I want this kind of power one day. We're filming on the beach, not from the city, not from the projects. This big haul truck, big utilities truck, pulls onto the sand. It comes down to where we're filming. Ocean's over here, we're over here, we're standing in front of the water to do the scene, chairs and cameras, this truck's done. Oh wow, what a sight to see a truck on the beach. Bringing his big Mack truck to block the wind so that when Jack Lord steps into the shop, his hair doesn't move. That was true. I was like, I want that power. So I did that and I came back to New York. Back to being away waiting for the next audition. And I should have been in California. So Switchblade, New Centurions came out. The episode of and I read the harvest from I could walk into anybody's that's casting something. I said, yeah, you want to see my work? Hey. Second. Okay? So that blew by and I just finished. They wanted me to come to California to dub a couple of scenes that were shot. There was too much ambient noise. And I told my mother, cash in the return ticket and I was going to stay. And I stayed in California until, and then I did Airport 75, did Midway, track down, then I started doing that stuff. Beretta Mannix, Kojak, $6 million man, Old Marshall, Police Story, hit them all. So I got to the top of the show as a guest star. And my price. And then I went up for a pilot. I lost it to Patrick Wayne, Long Wayne's son. I went for another one, pilot for series. Lost that to Desi on his Jr. Then the third one was Chips. Those two pilots, nothing happened. I went up for Chips. It was Poncherelli, Italian American. And I went up and I already had the attitude and the one of the things that was forced. Why was there? And I auditioned with Larry. Because they want to compare and see if there was something. And they had me come in and read with Larry. And I remember, and I got myself ready, studied all the pages, had it locked down, ready to go. But in their audition, I must have been very excited and tired and sort of. Because you can tell I can't sit still, right? So I skipped the whole page in the audition. I missed the whole page, right into the third page. And then I realized, oh no, and I got so upset. And I turned around and I punched the door. And then I'm sorry, I just don't like making mistakes. I can't afford mistakes. I get very mad. He says, no, that's it. steps in it, and then reads the book, you know? He wanted me to create a show where I wanted me to play country. Well, I changed the name later and I made it Hispanic. First time Latino was ever in the voting picture. Because up till then, I was a junkie, a murderer, a arsonist, crook, and all the Masonic shows. The medical center, remember the medical center? That guy? Chad Everett. Remember? I played the American tennis pro, and my manager was Cesar Romero, the actor, and I won in the show, not in real life. And all the executives at NBC were saying, no, we just saw him shoot a priest and the wife. He burned the bill. He was a heroin addict and addict. I played all the stereotypical roles for so many years. They needed a bad guy. We did. So, the creator of the show knew that I had what Punch, part of the image of Punch, character. So we said, well, let's put him in a uniform, sit him on a bike, and let him do him on our own. And then when they saw that, they said, oh, it's a cop. And I got the role. I almost didn't get it because of anyway. Aren't you tired? Let's get the next question. I'm sorry. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
16 years ago. 16 years ago. I want to see if I still have that passion as a 4-year-old to be a cop because of the influence from my mom's detective at the time. Now, you know, a New York detective, he works CSI. Picture, I used to go to his briefcase. They take pictures of the crime. And I saw this poor bitch, 6 and 7 years old, I loved it. He said, I'm going to catch the guy that did this. That was my job thing. Now, you know, when a New York detective retires, they get a gold shield. Back in the day. Today, they don't do it anymore. This is in the 70s, late 70s. He retired. He gave me his gold shield. I did. That's the kind of love we have for each other. He gave me his gold shield. 16 years ago, I decided still got that passion to be a cop. I did. So I went to Muncie, Indiana. And they took me on. I did 3 years. Muncie PD. It sucked. The people in Muncie were great, but I knew I got a lot of friends in most of the cops and firefighters. But work. And then I'm in full gear. I took a taser in the academy because I didn't want him to spray my eyes. I didn't want to get mazed. I didn't want to get it in. Number one. Anyway, so I would roll up on a house, I'd go to Crown Police Car. And I'd come out, I have 25 people waiting. Hey, Ponch! Can we have an autograph selfie picture? I said, guys, this is not chips, man. This is the real deal. I got a gun, taser, I even a can of mace. And he got tired of me. So, Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, he called me up 2.5 years later. He says, Erik, I got a buddy, Sheriff of Bedford County, Virginia, named Mike Brown. Sheriff. He says, he could really use your name and likeness for some videos that he wants to make. 16 years ago. When the internet just started up. And there were all these chat rooms. And kids were getting ruined. And they were getting taken from chat rooms. Okay? Nobody was teaching the children what not to do in the chat room. What you're not supposed to be doing. You could get in the chat room and chat. Don't give out your father's name or mother's name for you at school. Don't accept this and show you can never go and visit anybody you're talking to in the chat room. Because they're grooming you. He wants to do some DVDs at Liberty University in Lynchburg. So I call him up and tell him who I am. He goes, wait a minute, is you that fellow with the motorcycle, with the teeth and the tight uniform? I said, yes, sir, I am. He goes, Janet, come over here, I got a little punch around you. I mean, he went off. Blue Ridge Mountains, I call it. He was sheriff there a long time, and then he became the National Sheriff Association. And then he retired. So I said, my name is so-and-so, and I understand Shaquille gave me your number, I'm calling you. He says, well, that's mighty kind of you. That's mighty fine of you. And these here parts. These here parts. I never heard that. I never heard that in Harlem. These here parts. So I said, sir, what parts are you talking about? He says, Lynchburg. We fly into Lynchburg. Between Roanoke and Lynchburg. I said, sir, I'll be there tomorrow to go help him with his cause. And 2 planes to get there. Oh man, terror, just a terror. So I went. His wife is a psychology professor at Liberty University. We went to dinner the next day. We went to Liberty University to use their theatrical facilities to film these public service announcements to make the DVDs so we can have them to schools and parents. And, because the government was going to pay for all of it, he would have restrained the city council or chamber of commerce. So we did it, and we filmed it, it was all done. So I said, I'm leaving tomorrow, sir, and I want to thank you for letting me be part of your cause. Pleasure on the Spanish and English service announcement DVDs. And then he says, don't leave tomorrow, I want to take this over. There's no bills that we got now. You know what I mean? So the next morning he picks me up in his Bronco and we go over to the Blue Ridge Mountains. Big structure. Huge. Big. You open it up and it's big like this. And it's big around the center. And there's men and women in here. Some deputies. Some of those babies. They're all in front of me. They're all in chaplains. They're all in chaplains. Using as a 12-year-old. So Mike Harmony. Still the same. I see his badge and it says federal rules. It's federalized so that we have to cross state lines to go get somebody that crossed the line on the internet. Nobody tights in. He says, what's that? Sorry. It's key. What's that? I said, sir, I don't know what the 410 was. I don't know, sir. No. He says, well, since we signed on, we got 400 people shoot 3-year-old child pornography rates. Yeah. I was whoa, I was 6 or 7. Just 7. I said, you know what? Wow. I went to get up and he said, sit down. I want you to hit a key. I want you to pull one of those out. And he said, look, I came out here to help the show. Be part of it. I said, oh, I don't want to see any of that stuff. Thank you very much. Click. That's what it did to me there. And I got real mad. And it affected me. So I said, Sheriff, I'll tell you what, I believe once you put the light I said, well, give me a year to train and let me check the school. I was with him for 8 years. I said, but when he retired, the guy called me and gave me a look at He's a real Richard. You know what I mean? You know. She don't know? Tell her. It's a man's body part. Richard. Nickname. Okay, we're in church. Let's go outside, I'll tell you. Anyway, I mean, this little girl, beautiful little girl, man. Anyway. So, I gave my year, he trained me. The head of my squad, we were called Village Thunder Task Force. Federal Task Force. ICAP, Internet Confidence Trigger Investigator. And that guy was still there with me. I should have retired. I was going to shoot this guy one day. At some point, I'm going to shoot him. He had to go. So I left. And I'm at Ferry County with my buddy Benny and all of the show. So that's my story, and I love it.
Give him a great hand for doing stuff. Presentation for you here before we get going. So you already have a bunch of jobs. Put the microphone down there a second. So if you're aware of baseball world, the trade deadline just got finished for all the Major League Baseball teams, and we're signing this guy right here. So get ready to put this on. Turn around. Get your cameras ready, folks. You're gonna love this. Turn around the other way so they can see it. Put it on your back.
When I take this off first.
Right.
Get you that puppy. That one there. And turn around, ladies and